Choo-choo. Choo-choo. Come here.
Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. Today I wanted to share with you some recent comments I've received about my silver hair. Two of the comments were really nice and one was super shady. If you want to hear more about this, please stay tuned. The last time I shared a video like this was in October 2021. Since then, I have cut off the blonde ends of my hair and I've grown it out now to the length that you can see today. So the first comment came from a lady that I was in an elevator with. I was coming into work and I had just gone through security, so I was discombobulated and I clumsily dropped my water thermos that I bring in, and it made a terrible clanging noise on the floor of the elevator. And I was embarrassed and I apologized for the ruckus. And the lady said, "Oh no, you're just fine. And do you dye your hair that color?" And I said, "No, this is mine. I grew it out during COVID." And she said, "Oh, it's beautiful, baby." It was the nicest comment I could have gotten. I breezed off the elevator and walked into work. She really did brighten my day with her very sweet comment, so I wanted to share that. As a side note, it might be worth noting that I even had my hair pulled back in like a twist because it was raining that day and I was wearing a raincoat with a hood and the whole bit, so I had my hair all twisted back to protect it from the rain. So that she really just saw kind of like a wall of silver hair. So she was really just commenting on the color of it. It was very sweet. The second comment came the week before last. I was having dinner with 3 girlfriends. Our ages range from 34 to 51. And we were having a nice dinner out. We do this once a month just to stay connected. And the server from the restaurant kind of rolled over to me and quickly asked me how I did it. She asked if I had gone to a salon to receive, the effect first in order to get through it. And in a moment of self-promotion that I really rarely engage in, I asked her to check out my YouTube channel. I said, "I've got a ton of videos about it. Check out my YouTube channel." So if you're watching this video, you know who you are. I'm so glad you're here. Also, for the rest of you, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please consider doing that. It really does help me to continue making videos like this. Your support means the world to me. Thank you. After the server left the table, the women I was having dinner with started kind of like teasing me a little bit. One of them said, "Oh, I feel like I'm with a celebrity." And another one said, though, that she had recently, because of me, talked to her husband about his thoughts on her possibly ditching the dye. And she said that he wasn't as supportive as she was hoping he would be. I was so disappointed to hear that. This is an incredibly powerful, successful, beautiful woman who, if she's coming to terms with aging in a way that makes her feel comfortable, like she wants to do that, it makes me a little disappointed to hear that someone so close to her who maybe doesn't have that level of awareness or comfort with the aging process, that he might be holding her back from this. It just kind of bummed me out. I had really good support from my husband and I know that made a difference for me. So that comment from the employee of the restaurant really did trigger a conversation over dinner that night about aging and about our relationships and sort of how we perceive it. And I was grateful for that. It sounded like my friends all had a lot to process and say about their own experiences, and we had a really nice time bonding over this. So that was the second comment I got. I'm gonna need a little tea to talk about the shady comment. A couple of weeks back, my husband and I went to celebrate the birthday of his brother-in-law. And so there was a party and the brother-in-law had invited many of his close friends and family to celebrate his birthday. It was a very casual party, but I still made sure to blow out my hair and do my makeup and, look festive for the occasion. One of my husband's brothers-in-law has a friend who I've met before over the years here and there at events or whatever. So this is the person that I know. He is a 60-plus white man with a Hall & Oates mustache, just to give you a visual. So this man in general, I don't have any kind of relationship with him. It's really just been like social, "Hey, how are you? Nice to see you," sort of thing. So I walk into the party and this man who's close to the brother-in-law was kind of like helping to serve guests as we entered the party. And he said something like, "I can see that you've gotten older since I saw you last." Okay, All of us are born with certain gifts and talents, and one of the talents I have is a really quick retort. I can be very fast on my feet, and I have a bad habit sometimes of going for the jugular when I'm in these kinds of situations, and I didn't feel like that night was the night for it. I quickly replied to him, I think quite diplomatically, considering you and I have aged precisely the same number of days since I saw you last. And he kind of like gave me like a little salute, so I think I did my job in letting him know that I saw what he tried to do there, and I was willing to go toe to toe to him. And so I appreciated the salute. I felt like that was an appropriate response to my retort. And later in the evening, he came by to shake my hand. He came by later to shake my hand in a form of truce, to say something like, I can't even remember, I kind of blanked out. He tried to walk something back or saying something about how he liked my hair or something like that. He was doing something as a truce. I think he understood what he had done. But I want to unpack it all the same. So what's interesting about this is that for the last 2 years, I have been fielding comments from people, and overwhelmingly, they've been supportive. They've been in 2 categories. I've had folks like the lady in the elevator just express a genuine surprise and kind of like admiration for it. So I think that I have enough data points to think that it must look pretty good if I'm getting these kinds of spontaneous comments from strangers. And then number 2, from people who know me, they have been extremely supportive of this choice that I'm making in my life to go forward with my authentic natural hair color. This is truly the first negative comment I've gotten, and it's from somebody I think who barely knows me but wanted to have that kind of sense of familiarity. Just to say another word about the way I perceive this man who made this comment, he's also kind of the guy who is like the loudest laugher in the room, or the kind of guy who will tell a joke that's mean, but it's only a joke, you know, this type. And what I thought was interesting is he didn't say anything about whether he thought my hair looked good or bad. He just wanted to let me know that his perception of me, since he saw me last, was that I was noticeably older. It's so interesting to me. I'm quite a bit younger than this man. We are not in the same generation, right? Like I'm in my early mid-40s. This guy's in his early 60s. It's pretty bold for him to say anything about my age to any woman ever, but also to me, it felt a little overly familiar considering our relationship. I would like help from anybody out there who maybe has the right terms for this. I was thinking, is this gaslighting? Is that what he's doing? He's letting me know that I look older and therefore, you know, not to think that this looks good or something like that. He could probably tell that I had makeup on and had put myself together, and maybe he wanted to let me know that, you know, he had an opinion about the overall effect. I don't know, but it seemed like he was trying to get in my head. It was an unnecessary comment, and he did later realize, I think, that he had crossed a line. I don't really care about this person, and this certainly didn't hurt my feelings. I felt like this particular guy is like a caricature of a type of person out there from a different time and a different mindset that is still very much at play and active. And I feel like my friend who I had had dinner with, I don't know that her husband exactly fits this kind of mold, but he's sort of in that same category of folks who are maybe uncomfortable with their own aging. The man who said this to me is much older than I am. And I think what I wanted to say, if there are any men here listening to this, or anybody out there who is uncomfortable with aging, who isn't ready yet to sort of come to terms with that, if there's someone in your life, especially an intimate partner, who's in a different place, who's maybe ready to come to terms with the realities of getting older, I don't think that it's the right thing to do to try to make them feel less comfortable with that. I think the right thing to do is to spend some time with yourself and to investigate why it is that you're uncomfortable with the signs of getting older. And if that's something that you can look into, perhaps maybe you can, spend some time journaling or in meditation or in therapy over this type of transition that you're going through in life, because it certainly is one. And I just don't think that the answer is to make those around you who are maybe in a healthier place regarding this, I don't think it's the answer to make them feel worse. So those are some of the comments I have received over the last couple of weeks regarding my silver hair. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you all have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Talk soon.